Hey, what's good everyone? It's LP back with a new video, and today I want to talk about the Fuji X100VI. But before I do that, I'm actually going to have an assistant on this video today. I'm going to have my daughter help with some of the equipment in the video. So if you want to just wave to the camera really quick, baby, put your hand under the camera and just say hi. Alrighty, thank you. Okay, so back to the Fuji X100VI. So this camera has become one of the most sought after cameras on the market. The problem is that it's one of the hardest cameras to actually buy. It's very popular, it's out of stock everywhere. Lots of people want this camera. I bought it after being on a wait list for about a year. I've had it since November of 2025. So not quite a year yet with this camera, but I have some thoughts. What if someone can't find the X100VI? Or simply they don't want to spend the premium prices people pay for this camera from a reseller or a scalper? What if there was another camera that delivers a similar experience to the Fuji X100VI, but you could actually buy it? That's what this video is about. I think that there is. So baby, can you go ahead and give me that camera? Okay. Thank you. And so today I'm comparing the Fuji X100VI to the Sony A6700 with the new Viltrox 26mm F2.8 EVO lens. Now look, I know that these are two different cameras for different types of people, but I think you might be surprised by how much they actually have in common. Okay, so let's talk about how each body differs and how they're the same. So the X100VI is a rangefinder style camera. So what does that mean? So what that means is the viewfinder is offset here to the side. So it's on the left hand side. Much like an old school rangefinder camera or like a current rangefinder like a Leica or a Pixie. Now the A6700 is also a rangefinder style camera with the EVF offset to the left as well. Okay, but the difference is the Fuji has a fixed lens and the Sony has an interchangeable lens. So you can actually take this lens off and change it with any kind of lens that you want. Both are compact APS-C sensor cameras. The Fuji is a 35mm equivalent focal length on the lens. And with this 26mm EVO lens on the A6700, it's about a 39mm equivalent focal length. Both of them produce outstanding image quality, and both are outstanding for travel and street photography. They're both small. While we're on the topic of the size, so let me address that here. So when you look at the Fuji compared to the Sony, you can see that the Fuji appears to be smaller. And when factoring in total volume, it is absolutely smaller. And the reason because of that is because the Sony A6700 has such a deep grip on it. But if you were actually just to pretend that the grip was not there, the A6700 is actually a smaller camera. So let me show you. So when you compare them side by side here, you can see that the Fuji is actually taller and it's wider. And if it didn't have the grip, it would be thicker too. However, you also have to factor in that the Fuji has a built-in lens. And the lens is partially built into the body, which allows it to have such a compact pancake style look. Whereas with the Sony, it doesn't have that luxury, right? So you actually have to put the lens onto the body, which makes it stick out a little bit more. But as you can see with this small pancake lens on from Viltrox, it's actually not that much bigger in totality. So let me show you another example of how you can actually make this even smaller. So baby, can you go ahead and give me that other lens right there? Okay, thank you. This is another Viltrox lens. This is a 28mm F2.8 chip lens. But this is the smallest pancake lens that Viltrox makes. I believe this is the smallest autofocus lens on the market. So let me put that off to the side. Let me take this off here. So put that there for a minute. Let me put this chip lens on. So now, as you can see, the A6700 is about the same size. Now I know that this is a fixed lens. I'm just trying to prove a point here that this is a small camera too. There's different lenses that you can try in combination to find out what works for you. All I'm really trying to say is that if you've been looking at this camera, don't ignore cameras like the A6700 because you can get a similar experience using both. So let me throw that EVO back on. Okay, can you put that back for me? Okay, there you go. Okay, let me stick this back on. Okay. Cool. All right, so once again, shared features, APS-C sensors. They both have autofocus. The A6700 has amazing autofocus. It's out of this world. I mean, the autofocus on the Fuji is atrocious compared to what you have on the Sony, and it's not even funny. It's no contest. They both have in-body image stabilization. They both make high quality video. The Fuji has the tilt-up screen, whereas the A6700 has the flip-out screen. Now, I know some people like this for photography, and this is more geared towards a video creator. However, I know some people, photographers, that like this as well. I personally like this type of screen better, but at the end of the day, you know, it comes down to whatever your preference is. Both these are weather resistant, weather sealed, whereas with the Fuji, you need to put on the filter to get the full weather sealing. So another difference is sort of the look of the cameras, right? Whereas the Fuji is a retro style camera with the dials on the top. You know, you have the exposure compensation, you have the shutter speed and the ISO, and then you have the hybrid electronic and optical viewfinder here in the corner. Whereas with the Sony, it's more of a classic mirrorless design with the EVF, no optical viewfinder, no exposure compensation dials, no dials for your shutter speed. You have to control that all with the dials in the front and the back. Again, that's going to be more of a preference thing. And then the other difference, again, is that you can actually change the lenses on your A6700. So if you're considering switching from Fuji or you can't find the X100VI, I would take a look at a camera like this. You can get a similar experience with some setup. And I know one thing that people gravitate towards for Fuji for are the film simulations. So for example, here are some of the simulations on the Fuji. But with Sony, you have what are called creative looks. So I have it mapped here to the C2 button, and there's different creative looks that are built in. And there's actually recipes available where you can adjust these to get a creative look that works for you. So for example, I use the FL look with some tweaks. In addition to that, you also have picture profiles that give you more control over the look. And there's actually a whole community out there for Sony picture profile recipes to emulate a lot of the looks that you get here on the Fuji. So with that being said, the X100VI remains an outstanding camera with the Sony A6700 paired with the Viltrox EVO. You can get a lot of the same capabilities, functionality, and even better features in the A6700 than what you would get in the Fuji a lot of the times, especially when it comes to autofocus. And so for me, I love this camera. I've taken it with me on a few trips, but the main thing with this camera that drives me crazy is the autofocus. I miss a lot of shots because of the autofocus, and I know I can get around that by doing zone focusing. But at the same time, I don't have as many missed shots with the Sony as I do with the Fuji because the autofocus here is just so much better. So once again, the Fuji's great, it's awesome, The Sony gives you a lot of what you can get here. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention earlier was the flash. There's a built-in flash into the X100VI. The Sony, you'd have to add one. So if you've been struggling to find the X100VI, I would strongly consider looking at the A6700. I was keeping this around because up until now, I didn't really see this as a viable option for the Fuji. But now that this EVO is out, and I don't only have to stick to this chip lens for a compact setup, then I'm strongly considering selling this X100VI. The reason being is because I found a better camera that connects with me, or that I enjoy using way more. And that camera is going to be, can you go ahead and hand me the silver one? Okay. And that camera is going to be the Nikon ZF. This camera is amazing. It's everything that I wanted in the Fuji, but it's a Nikon. Yes, it's bigger. Yes, it's heavier, but for me, it doesn't matter that much. I just stick it in my bag. No pictures in this video, just really wanted to compare the, here, can you put that back? Here you go. Okay. So I just wanted to compare these two cameras together. Hopefully this video helps anyone who may be trying to make a decision, going back and forth between these cameras. Hope this is helpful, and until next time, peace and take it easy.